think we need a bunch of Oregonian guys in flannel shirts with rifles out there. Right, saying, hey, I'm okay with, you know, universal background checks and limits to magazine clips and, you know.
Something else, and then my brain yeah, you know, I'm just typing a message to my husband about something else.
I'm Representative Barbara Smith-Warner. I'm the state representative from this district, as a matter of fact. So welcome to House District 45. And thrilled to be here to talk with all of you about what we can do in the legislature next year and beyond. Hi.
And Barbara, I'm looking right at you. And we've also got the Department of Justice here and as well as ATF to identify what specific change would enable a more smooth transaction to happen.
And would it have to be legislative, or if the problem came from an administrative ruling, can the solution come from an administrative ruling as well?
Stateside in Oregon, we currently don't have any laws in place that allow or say that somebody who is subject to a restraining order or who has been convicted of a qualifying misdemeanor crime, domestic violence, is prohibited from possessing a firearm, and if they're found with a firearm, they can be charged. That's difficult because our law enforcement then doesn't have the ability to go out and seize those firearms because it's only at that point a federal violation, and so we have to go then to ATF, which has limited resources, to be able to come in and do that.
How many agents do you have calling in the state?
One of the coalition has a legislative agenda, and one of the bills on our legislative agenda is to bring our Oregon state gun laws into compliance with the federal law, which I think will help with some of those gaps.
The other challenge is that when you're dealing with sheriffs around the state of Oregon, as you know, and in Arizona, this is a really politically charged issue. So when you're asking sheriffs then to be responsible for enforcing federal gun laws by dispossessing people of guns under federal law, we don't get a lot of enthusiasm.
Joe Ohio.
I know.
We have some very...
YMCA, you can certainly educate your women and encourage them to speak up when there's domestic violence going on in their homes. Stop it early on. I mean, that's the best prevention. Certainly we need legislation when things do go too far.
You know, because the truth is, more kids die every year in swimming pools than by being shot, accidentally or otherwise. So when we hystericalize it, I think that's a barrier to moving it forward.
And I also think that there are a lot of reasonable gun owners out there, and my husband is one, and every time he hears about the opposition of people to regulating the sale of magazines that are intended for automatic weapons, he becomes very angry. Because
no hunter would ever use those
kinds of weapons.
That's right.
And so he feels that he's being
very unsportsmanlike
to an argument that...
Yeah, I think we need a bunch of Oregonian guys in flannel shirts with rifles out there. Right, saying, hey, I'm okay with, you know, universal background checks and limits to magazine clips and, you know.